All right, so you wanted to deep dive Sunny Jetsun.
Yeah.
Specifically, his 4040 Amo Bhakti Shakti piece.
Yeah, buckle up.
Yeah, it seems
It's a wild one.
intense. Yeah.
Jetsun, he's
Yeah.
quite a character.
Yeah.
Poet, painter, world traveler.
Okay.
Spent 20 years in Goa,
Right.
just soaking it all up. Who knows
Yeah.
what definitely comes through in the writing. More like an explosion of thoughts than a structured collection.
Yeah, I noticed that, like, flipping through, I was just like, whoa, where do we even begin?
Exactly.
It's dense, it jumps all over the place, and he's definitely not shy about
No,
dropping an F-bomb
absolutely not.
or 2 or 20.
He's not holding back.
Yeah, but amidst all the chaos, there are these flashes of, like, brilliance,
Yes.
these really surreal and thought-provoking moments
Oh, absolutely.
that just make you want to keep...
It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
You have to keep reading.
Yeah, and it's so... The way he writes, it's just so captivating. Even though it's so chaotic, it's like, I can't put this down. I need to know what he's going to say next.
Right. That's the key with Jetsun. You have to be ready for a challenge.
Yeah.
He's going to force you to confront some uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah.
Make you question everything you think you know.
Yeah.
And his surrealism, it's not just some, artistic flourish.
Right.
He uses it like a weapon
Yeah.
to break through the noise and get you thinking differently.
Let's unpack the surrealism a bit.
Okay.
I mean, some of the imagery he uses.
Yeah, it's wild.
Just wild, like this line. Unnaturally delicious, locked in a lead box from Wuhan Monsanto's 15 million varieties of synthetic ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving each taste of this hypnotic AI Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Dream-licking FGM clitoral mutilation, it's supreme.
Oh, what's going on there?
Like, what is going on there?
It's classic surrealism.
Okay.
But with a Jetsun twist.
Okay.
You got this jarring juxtaposition of something so pleasurable like ice cream with something horrific, FGM.
Yeah.
He smashes them together
Yeah.
to shock you, wake you up.
Yeah.
And then he layers in this almost satirical language, AI Dairy Queen,
Right.
playing with our obsession with technology and artificiality.
It's like he's trying to create this, like, cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Make you hold these two completely opposite ideas in your mind at the same time.
Got it.
And it works.
It does.
You can't passively read Jetsun.
Yeah.
He makes you feel it.
Right.
The absurdity, the horror, the dark humor.
Exactly. He wants to shake you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Make you see the world with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
He's not interested in prettying things up
No.
or sugarcoating reality.
And speaking of uncomfortable realities,
Right, yeah.
let's talk about some of the controversial topics Jetsun tackles head on.
Okay, let's go there.
I mean, he goes after the World Economic Forum,
Yeah?
Bill Gates, the pharmaceutical industry,
Uh-huh.
with a vengeance.
He does not hold back.
It's intense, but what I find interesting about it is that it's not just like a blind rage.
No, he's not just ranting.
He has specific arguments. He weaves, in quotes, cites sources.
He does his research.
Yeah.
One of his central points about the WEF, for example, is that they're pushing this Great Reset agenda.
Right.
This idea of using global crises to basically reshape society in their own image.
Right. And he sees it as like this dangerous power grab.
Yeah.
He argues that, like, while the WF talks about global solutions,
Right.
what they really want is centralized control.
Uh-huh.
A world where, like, individual liberties are just eroded in the name of some abstract greater good.
It's all about control for
Right.
them. At least that's how he sees it.
That's how he sees it.
And he goes deep on this.
Yeah.
He even lists attendees of the WEF and
Oh.
suggesting they're all complicit in
Yeah.
this grand scheme.
Oh, wow.
Now, whether you buy into that level of conspiracy or not,
Right.
it is a provocative argument.
Yeah. It is.
He's forcing you to consider the potential downsides
Yeah.
of unchecked global power.
And he doesn't stop there.
No, he does not.
He takes aim at Bill Gates,
Uh-huh.
specifically his involvement in global health and agriculture.
Right.
Jetsun questions his motives,
Mhm.
pointing to Gates' massive investments in companies like Beyond Meat and Moderna.
Yeah, he sees a connection there.
He's suggesting that, like, philanthropy, in this case, might be more about profit and control
Right.
than genuine altruism.
It's a cynical take,
Yeah.
but he's making you think about it.
Yeah. And I think it's important to think about those things.
Absolutely.
Jetsun even brings up some of the more fringe theories circulating online.
He does, yeah.
Like the idea that hospitals are financially incentivized to report COVID deaths.
Yeah, that one's a bit out there.
Yeah, some of that stuff gets
It can get pretty wild.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
But the point is, he's not afraid to go there, to dig into those uncomfortable corners
Nope.
and make you question the narratives we're often fed without a second thought.
Right, exactly.
And that, I think, is one of the core values of Jetsun's work, critical thinking.
Yeah, he's not saying believe everything I say.
Right.
He's saying don't believe anything blindly.
Yeah.
Question everything, do your own research,
Yeah.
come to your own conclusions.
Yeah, it's a refreshing approach.
It is.
In a world where it's so easy to just get swept up
Oh, yeah.
in the tide of information overload
Absolutely.
and just accept whatever's in front of you.
You can't just be a passive consumer of
Yeah.
information.
He's a reminder that there are always multiple sides to every story,
Always.
and to be wary of anyone claiming to have all the answers.
Exactly. You know, it's interesting, though, how this skepticism
Yeah.
towards authority contrasts with Jetsun's deep reverence for the feminine.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It adds another layer of complexity to his work.
It really does. Like, he's this fierce critic of power structures.
Yeah.
But then he turns around and writes these incredibly romantic, almost devotional lines about women. It's like he sees the feminine divine as this source of like pure love and creative energy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
A stark contrast
Yeah.
to like the corruption and greed he sees in those in power.
Right, and it's not just about romantic love either.
Okay.
He connects the feminine to nature, to spirituality, to
Yeah.
the very essence of life itself.
Yeah.
He sees the exploitation of women and the destruction of the environment
Right.
as stemming from the same toxic mindset,
Yeah.
this disregard for the sacred.
This brings us to a point I found really intriguing.
Okay.
Jetsun's use of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Because alongside the rage and the surreal imagery,
Mm-hmm.
there were these flashes of wit that just like caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Like this, does a bear shit in the woods? Are the popes satanic? Do priests rape young boys? NASA, Nazi Society of Space Actors, beam me up.
I love that one.
I mean, what do you even make of that?
It's his way of like puncturing the seriousness
Okay.
of highlighting the absurdity of the things we often just accept without question. He's using humor as a tool for social commentary, a way to make us laugh even as we're confronting these uncomfortable truths.
I feel like sometimes when I read his stuff,
Yeah.
I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I am.
Right. It's dark humor.
It's so dark.
But it's effective.
Yeah.
And it's not just cheap laughs either.
No.
He's got a sharp satirical edge
Yeah.
that cuts deep.
Like when he compares the COVID-19 vaccine to a gene editing suite,
Yeah.
it's funny in a dark, twisted way,
Mm.
but it also makes you think about the potential consequences
Yeah.
of just blindly trusting authority.
He's a master of using language to provoke,
Yeah.
to challenge, to make you see the world from a different angle.
Yeah.
And that's where his surrealism comes back in.
Right.
He blends these outrageous images with these biting observations.
Yeah.
And it creates this like unique cocktail
Okay.
that's both intoxicating and unsettling.
Yeah, I get that.
You can't look away.
It's like he's saying, wake up. Don't just accept the reality you're being fed.
Exactly.
Look deeper, think for yourself,
Right.
and maybe have a laugh at the absurdity of it all
Absolutely.
while you're at it.
He's not afraid to push buttons,
Bro.
to cross boundaries, to make you squirm in your seat.
Yeah.
But he's doing it with a purpose.
Yeah.
He wants to shake us out of our complacency,
Okay.
to ignite a fire in our souls,
Right.
to make us question everything we thought we knew.
And that's what makes him so compelling.
Yeah.
He's not just some angry guy yelling at the clouds.
No.
He's a poet, an artist, a philosopher, a provocateur who's trying to wake us up
Right.
to a different way of seeing the world.
Speaking of waking up,
Yeah.
there's this poem in 44 Amo Bhakti Shakti that really resonated with me.
Okay.
It's called Asamprajnat.
Okay.
Would you like to hear it?
Absolutely. Let's have it.
All right, here it is. The lotus of 1,000 petals shining, simultaneously being pure white light opening Sahasrara chakra, transcending all knowledge and bliss, looking into Soma's eyes, trusting you, our unity in samadhi, in your arms, lovingness. In Shangri-La's deep grottos, Amanita Lingam, Yoni in coitus, superconscious, our beautiful Ritamvara Prajna Amor,
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, it is.
There's so much packed into those few lines.
Right, and it's full of imagery and concepts that might be unfamiliar to some listeners.
Yeah.
For example, the Sahasrara chakra he mentions is the crown chakra in Hindu tradition, often associated with spiritual awakening and enlightenment.
Right.
He's blending Eastern spirituality with Western imagery, Shangri-La, the Amanita mushroom, to create this almost mystical experience. Yeah. And then there's Ritamvara Prajna Amur, which, if I'm understanding it correctly, refers to a love that transcends the physical, a love that's rooted in wisdom and spiritual connection.
Right, and that's what struck me about this poem. It's like a glimpse into Jetsun's yearning for something beyond the chaos and the darkness he sees in the world. There's like a vulnerability there.
Definitely.
A desire for connection.
Yeah.
For a love that's both earthly and divine.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful contrast.
It is.
To the anger and cynicism that often permeates his work.
Yeah, it shows that there's more to Jetsun than just rage against the machine.
Exactly.
He's also capable of deep love, profound spiritual insight, and a yearning for something more.
And I think that's something a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, yeah.
We're all living in this crazy world, trying to make sense of it all, searching for meaning and connection.
Right.
And Jetsun, in his own unique way, is offering us a path. A way of seeing the world that's both challenging and inspiring.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey reading his work.
It is. So it's interesting. You know, we've talked about his criticism of power structures, his love for women, his surrealism, his humor.
Yes.
It almost feels like these are
like separate pieces.
Separate pieces of a puzzle.
Yeah.
But they fit together to form this cohesive picture.
Oh, right.
Think about it this way. His criticism of authority stems from his belief in individual freedom and autonomy.
Right.
His love for women and his reverence for the feminine divine are intertwined with this idea of a natural order being disrupted. A sacredness that's being violated by the powers that be.
Right.
And his surrealism, I guess, is the tool he uses to jolt us awake, to see all of this, to break through the noise and force us to confront these hard truths.
And his humor.
Yeah.
Is that like the coping mechanism?
Yeah, the way he maintains his sanity in a world that often feels like it's gone mad.
So he's not just throwing random ideas at the wall. There's a method to his madness.
Yeah, exactly. And this brings us back to you, the listener.
Yeah.
Why should you care about Sunny Jetsun and his sometimes bizarre, often challenging work?
What's the takeaway here for our listeners?
Well, Jetsun is a mirror reflecting the anxieties and contradictions of our time. He's a voice for the disenfranchised.
Yeah.
The skeptical, the ones who see through the bullshit and refuse to swallow the blue pill.
He's not offering easy answers.
No.
Or comforting platitudes.
He's giving us a hard dose of reality. A wake-up call to the forces that are shaping our world.
Yeah.
And a challenge to take responsibility for our own thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
He's saying, don't be a sheep.
Yeah.
Question everything. Think critically.
Absolutely.
And for God's sakes, wake up and smell the roses before they're all gone.
That about sums it up.
Yeah. So if you're ready to step outside your comfort zone, to challenge your assumptions, expand your understanding of the world, then dive into the world of Sunny Jetsun.
You might not agree with everything he says.
Right.
You might even find some of it downright offensive.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you won't be bored.
No, I don't think anyone could ever be bored reading his work.
And who knows?
Yeah.
You might even come away with a new perspective, a fresh insight, a renewed sense of purpose in this wild, chaotic world we call home.
Well, there you have it. That's our deep dive on Sunny Jetsun and his 44T Amo Bhakti Shakti. Definitely check it out. Thanks for listening.